8% of all those have been corrected, remedied. There's one left. It's regarding PPE, some personal protection equipment, that may or may not have to order some equipment just to become, to get into the regulations. So, but other than that, that is pretty much taken care of. I met with them today just to go over to make sure. So we are on board with that. So that's all I have. Motion to adjourn. Greg? Herbie?
Cancel. Mine's canceled.
It is?
Yeah, that resolution is tabled because Jim Montgomery couldn't be here. All right, we're bringing it up next month. So, all right.
Next.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Sure.
I'd like to call the General Services Committee to order, please. First item is discussion items. Anyone have anything to discuss? Paul?
Yeah, I'd like to apologize. I had a discussion item I wanted to add to the agenda, and I was in such a rush to get the resolutions done, I forgot to get to that. And I'd like to thank Robin for her giving me the grace period and getting the resolutions to her. I was contacted by our longtime weed and brush control spraying contractor. I think we've been doing business with them for in excess of 20 years. Normally, my maintenance budget, I use somewhere around $20,000–$25,000 a year for spraying. There's a lot of intersections, a lot of banks that are difficult to mow or impossible to mow that we've been spraying over the years. So anyway, earlier this year, the contractor contacted me. It's kind of like it was like a mom and pop operation where mom had passed away and pop wants to retire. So he proposed an interesting proposal to me. He's looking, what his proposal was, like I said, we normally do about $25,000. What his proposal was, if I was to do $50,000 worth of work with him this year, while he was here, he would provide training to one of my employees to operate his vehicle. And at the end of when he was done with us, when he left, he would leave us the vehicle. Whatever repair parts he has for it and whatever product that he had left at the end of when he completed the work for us this season. The vehicle is rather old. It's 1982. It's got a 427 gas motor with a 10-speed, but the motor was rebuilt around 50,000 miles ago. Just from my experience from being around in the last 20 years or so, he takes very good care of the vehicle. I think the vehicle's in pretty good shape for its age. It's the only vehicle of its type in the United States. He bought it overseas someplace. It's got patents on it. It uses an electrical negative charge when it applies, so it's applied directly to the plants. It doesn't completely eradicate them, but it's been a useful tool in our arsenal. And our expenses, starting next year, if we own the vehicle, our expenses would be almost nothing to operate it. I'd have to get one of our employees certified with a pesticide applicator's license.
So it is a pesticide plus
It's a small amount of pesticide. It's more the application process that accomplishes it's a very small amount. It's very, very diluted.
So if you
So
have,
basic,
Correct.
so if you had one employee that was trained, and that employee left, I mean, would you have more than one, could that employee that was trained in turn
Well-
train another employee?
Right, because what happens with the pesticides, we had an employee before that had a pesticide license. Under his license, other employees are allowed to work under his supervision. So during that process, there would be other employees that would gain that experience and.
so basically it's gonna cost us $25,000 for that vehicle.
Correct.
And the train.
Right, he will provide the training, and he said he's got a bunch of repair parts. He couldn't get into the specifics what he has, but he said, I would have to send him a large truck to bring them all back, and whatever product he has left.
So if it's a vehicle of one kind only, are there parts, once we run out of the, I mean, let's say there's a part that he doesn't have a replacement part for, are we gonna be able to get a part to?
From what I've seen of the system, it doesn't appear to be that complicated.
So it's something that you could find a part that necessarily wasn't designed just for that.
And how much will it cost to certify?
I think it's like $200 for the pesticide applicator's license. It's an 8-hour class on a Saturday. It's put on by DEC 4 or 5 times a
Will there
year.
be a stipend involved? Or additional classification?
I wouldn't anticipate that. I mean, that would be, I wouldn't anticipate that.
Just up your line item in the budget from 25 to 50,000 and
Harry
submit
used
it
it
for
for
the
over
year.
20 years.
Pardon?
I said Tom Kinzer Harry used that outfit for over 20 years also.
I think there are a number of towns actually that would.
Can we,
They're probably some areas of school.
can we hire that out
Yeah, really?
to these other guys that,
No.
well, we're not gonna do it free.
Why not?
Once we pay for the thing, we'll charge you $25 for it.
Herb, what do you, just out of, while we're talking, what do you pay to have that done?
I thought it was 196 per mile. Am I right?
At one time. it was.
One time.
30 years.
Well, since I was highway
It just jumped to 300.
But you gotta remember, I retired in
It's
2006.
been 289 for the last 4
Okay.
years. At one time it was 176.
And it's $2.89 a mile, so is that once a year?
That's for once a year per lane mile. Not
So that does it?
per lane mile.
Yeah.
Tommy?
I mean, I don't have a problem investigating all this, and it sounds like a good deal. I feel like there's a bridge over here I'm gonna buy one at some place. And I'm not saying that, you know, I would just say, I know we've been dealing with this guy, and probably every other town has been dealing with the same person in Montgomery County.
State
For 20 years.
I mean, they've been doing pretty much the whole state for as long as they've.
So there's no place else to compare to see what other counties might be doing? Or other avenues, or, and if there isn't, there isn't.
He
but-
does this for other people.
Not this kind of
What,
machine.
is he gonna give us
Well,
all
not this kind of machine,
all
but
this
is there any
customer
other-
base?
Is there any other way to
I'm serious.
do this?
That's what you're in business
Yeah,
Bill,
more
Bill,
chemicals.
let's buy it. You and
Yeah, I'll go to Florida and you run it.
So he's gonna put together like a proposal?
He's gonna give me a
With a
proposal.
list of parts and.
But before I put too much effort into this, I wanted to get an idea of what the feelings of the board was before I pursued it too much further.
What else would you do if you didn't do this? I mean, how would you handle this? What would you do? Buy more chemicals, do it?
weed whack,
Hire,
weed whack the shrubs.
does Unique or anybody do this?
No, I
No,
mean,
it's right.
what you would end up with is overgrowth, and when it got to be brush or trees and it's overhanging the roads, we'd be out hand trimming it to get it cut back. 'Cause I just know, that point now.
So if the vehicle lasts for a year, it's paid for itself, basically,
If we got one season out of it,
which it should probably last longer than that, so.
I would say it's gonna last
So,
considerably
kind of-
longer than that.
Paul, is the unit capable of being taken off that chassis? and put on-
I would assume, yes, I would assume it's just mounted to that cabin chassis, and it could be relocated
So if
to
you had a
any,
newer truck-
probably any six-wheel dump truck. Take the
So if
box
you had a
off.
newer truck, you could put that on it, should the other one.
Right, should there be problems with the unit.
Paul, do you ever have an idea what the cost is of the chemical just itself?
Yeah, it's material wise, it wouldn't cost us more than $9 per month.
Wow. 20 miles a year?
280 miles.
Big profit,
Miles
Bill.
savings.
Might change your mind?
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, he had a lot of overhead, he had, but yeah, but that's what the actual
whole
materials
state.
cost.
And I got one other question. Is there any liability that we would incur, like insurance-wise or something, for whatever reason we polluted a creek or something?
Well, like I said, there's such a small amount of the chemical, and that's why it's so cheap per mile. It's 4 ounces per 16 gallons. So unless we were to actually lose the drum of the material, once it's mixed, it's,
Wishes of the committee, do you want Paul to go back and prepare a
Yes.
resolution?
Sounds like, I mean, if it, like I said, if it lasts a year, it's paid for itself, so probably get more than a year out of it, so.
Now, is the intent to have that resolution for next month?
yeah, I know he would like to just be able to make his plans if this doesn't work, so if we could do it this month.
And then you could have the dialogue with him to tell him what we're trying to do and go from there.
Do we presently have a contract with him?
Why don't they got us? Why don't they got us?
No, we've been doing it under a sole source type of, because it is the only unit of its type.
Where's this guy live?
Grand Island, out by
Why did he
Buffalo.
pick us? I mean, why not another county that he does all these counties? I don't know why he's picking us.
That's great.
Everybody else refused.
No, I don't think so. We've always had a good relationship with him. I know he's been a longtime member of the town highway association in Montgomery County, and I know it's past president. He was good friends with him, and we personally have always had a good relationship with him. Is that why he chose us?
Any other questions?
He's saying he wants a resolution this month.
Oh, you want a resolution this month?
Yeah, I
For
mean,
the full board?
if at all possible.
I see.
So we need a
Everything all right with
sponsor.
the committee members? All right.
We need a sponsor and a second for that resolution.
You would need, oh, so we're going to, you should put it here.
Yes.
Okay.
We can, as long as he can get the wording for it, and I have a sponsor in a second, I can get it on the board
Okay,
agenda.
I'll sponsor that, yes. I'll sponsor that resolution.
I'll second it.
Which is second? Wishes of the committee? Move it?
Move it.
All in favor? Anyone
Yeah.
opposed? All right. We'll do that resolution.
Okay, so I'll contact him tomorrow, I'll get something in writing, I'll probably have to work with Doug, I'm not sure what kind of language we're gonna need for a contract, for the transfer of the equipment.
So you see what he puts together, what he gives you, we'll take a look, figure out what we need to do. We may not have the contract for the meeting, but.
Yeah, the
we'll
resolution
have
to
the
authorize
resolution.
the.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll have the resolution for the full board.
That's
Any other discussion items?
25 and 1?
All right, hearing none, we'll go to the next on the agenda items. Resolutions, authorizing Old Courthouse Network Infrastructure Upgrade. I sponsored that. Do we have a second?
Yeah.
Butch? Okay, this is the resolution that we talked about earlier about making an amendment. I'll sponsor that amendment for this resolution to include purchasing, Greg, how many computers?
4 computers.
4 computers, for economic development at a cost not to exceed,
I think he needed 5,400.
is that right, Ken?
54.
5,400, so not to exceed 5,400? Is that right? So I'll sponsor that, do we have a second? Herbie? Okay, so on the amendment, wishes of the committee? No, I'm sorry.
I heard a number earlier of 18,000, I think, or 19,000. It sounds like the 5,400 is a pretty solid number. Should the resolution be not to exceed a little bit more, or like 30,000 instead of 24, or are you solid with that number?
Pretty solid. What we've got is the actual networking cable, the rack. We've got vendor estimates for all of these runs, all the equipment.
I'm not just saying not to exceed, because we'll be back here for $2,000.
29,999.
You know, we'll be back here for 13 hours.
Like I said, I'm working on vendor estimates, so I'm fairly certain those will be.
Somebody look and share.
Just spent how many millions of dollars, so.
Be amended and then you move the resolution.
Just that.
Right.
Thank you. Yes?
Chair, I think that the recommendation to close in on that $30,000 figure would probably be more appropriate, especially if you're going to look into possibly running the phones on the fiber optic. Obviously, there's going to be a cost associated with that as well. You know, you might as well at least figure out if it's something that's doable and the money's available. They're going to have nothing but issues with these phone lines.
Yeah. So are we saying that the amendment would say not to exceed $30,000? A total of $30,000. And then we would have to take out.
Yeah, we have to break the line
We have to
items
break the
out.
line items.
We're gonna have a line item for 5,400 for economic development, and then the remainder would be for the computer equipment for data processing.
All right, so a vote on the amendment. Bob, any vote? Yes or no? Yes. Ryan?
Yep.
Herbie? Gary?
Yeah.
Butch?
Yep.
I say yes. Okay. That's passed.
That's
And,
nice.
On the resolution itself, the wishes of the board pass to the full board?
Chair.
Yes.
Greg had something.
I'm sorry, Greg.
Just one question, just clarification. Since the phone component of it, if we do go forward with that, that's going to involve DPW, does it matter that that money might have to go to DPW's budget or interact with that, or does it not matter for the purpose of this?
I don't know if it matters for this purpose. Paul?
Well, I would say for this project, I don't know how Sean putting it in the operating budget for, of course, he's setting it up as a capital project. If he sets it up as a capital project, it wouldn't matter. I guess it wouldn't matter because it's all going to be payment to a vendor of some sort, I would assume, even if it came down to new conduit and new copper wire. As long as they bought it, you know, we would install it, and I guess it wouldn't matter.
Did we schedule this to go through finance? We just put the,
Just put the resolution on general services.
I thought we would put the discussions through it.
No, we have the resolution from data.
Yeah, the original resolution was called data process.
Yeah, like Ken's was
And then
a
we
discussion
Ken's.
item.
And
So
Ken's
that's
was-
why I thought they were gonna go through, it would go through finance, and we clean up all these numbers, and we pass a clean version
So
through.
why don't you just pass it to finance?
We can do that if you want.
Now that we
Then
know
we don't
what we want
have,
to do,
we
get
don't
some
have to do it
solid,
tonight, you just move it.
get some solid numbers.
Yeah,
But I didn't
we'll put
need
your
to-
names on it and just push it through finance with all the numbers in it.
Right,
I'll talk to
All the
Sean
different
about
appropriation
that.
numbers.
for next week.
Yeah.
You're all right with that?
Uh,
Okay with that? Bill?
Yeah.
Okay with that?
That's what I thought we were gonna do anyways.
He's got finance great enough.
Yeah, no, I know, but you had said something like, that was your question.
Makes sense.
Okay, that's what we do. I don't even know how to action on this.
I don't have it on the finance agenda, which is already,
We'll add that.
okay.
We had another one on this afternoon anyways.
Instead of being locked up here.
Okay, moving on. Next resolution, authorizing chairman to sign agreement office space, Beaumont Community Action Agency Incorporated, which is sponsored that. I'll second that. Any discussion? Hearing none. Anyone opposed? Pull it. Anyone all in favor? Next item is resolution amending the 2013 operating budget CHIPS funds. Sponsor that. We have a second. Brian? Any discussion? Wish of the committee? Okay, all in favor? Next item, authorizing chairman to sign agreement AECOM USA Engineering Service 2013 Bridge Program. I'll sponsor that. Do I have a second? Brian? Any discussion? Wish of the, yeah. I'm sorry. None? Wish of the committee? All in favor? One more here. Last resolution authorizing treasurer to amend 2013 budget. I sponsored that. Do I have a second?
Still let you have $1 million.
Herbie?
And that's where it's gonna go.
Discussion? Guys, we have a discussion from the floor.
Wow, it must be a pocket change now.
Tom?
Should have moved that one.
I didn't have my meeting, got canceled tonight because of the resolution. There was one thing, just to make everybody aware. Mike McMahon had sent an email to John and I earlier today. The marshal's office, wherever that is, Albany, I guess, has offered to give the county for free, I'm going to call it a metal detector. I don't know what to actually call it. Yeah, and it's free, we get it or whatever, and at no cost to us. And it will replace whatever, I don't know if they have it. Huh? I just thought we should make everybody aware of
What's it for?
it, for social services.
Oh, okay.
Now, what's it, wanted, maybe, for something?
I don't really know what it is, but it's a machine.
Is this something to walk through?
It's a portable walk-through metal detector. And all it needs is a 110 outlet to be able to power it up.
And he said he could get it on his truck. I mean, to get it here. It's for free.
We're discussing that. Is this something that we want to put into this resolution?
No, we haven't moved this.
No, I thought you
resolution.
said under other. I thought we were under other. I'm
We
sorry.
haven't moved this resolution.
No. So I get confused.
I thought somebody said other. That's why I was calling it.
Okay, on this resolution, we have any other discussion? No. Wishes of the committee?
Move it.
Okay, let's move. Now, on to other.
That's what I thought you, I'm sorry, I thought you did the resolution.
I was
I
sitting here
thought you
thinking,
said.
wow, I fell asleep for about 5 minutes.
Motion to adjourn.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
You just got $500,000 more in CHIPS monies? What do you intend to do with it?
Share it. Share it.
No, I just,
I'll continue to use it in my road program, like the rest of my CHIPS money this year happens to be town of St. Johnsville, town of Palatine, then town of Amsterdam.
Move it.
so are you gonna do more roads
Yes.
or better?
I move it. Sounds good.
Hot mix as
Charles,
compared-
both.
hot mix as compared to-
Tom Sully, Tom Charles.
Huh?
Probably a little bit of both.
Tom, let me just ask you a question now. On this other, we were talking about this metal detector or whatever. What do you want us to do with that?
I just wanted to make everybody aware that Mike had sent John and I an email, and that we were getting this thing for nothing.
Okay,
And
so
I-
it's just for this.
I missed my meeting because we canceled.
It's coming. Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All right. Brian, second.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Brian?